Hello! We are on our way to go to work. I have a client at 3:30, but I'm gonna go early. I cleaned the car a little bit. I have to donate all those clothes. I did leg day, and then I woke up this morning and I did some work, social media work, because I really gotta push the sales. I really gotta push the sales for Leanne and Jenna for this summer. So I'm really focusing on trying to get them booked as priority first. And so I'm trying to lock in and get the social media marketing going. I basically use all the tricks and formula from my BBB blueprints, and I literally go by it because I swear by it. It works every single time, and so I'm picking it back up and making sure I have it locked in for my daily checklist, by following all the formula in the ebook again. That way we can get the clientele bookings more fuller. And then I went to the gym and did leg day, and then I went for a 30-minute walk to get my steps in. It felt really amazing, by the way. It was so therapeutic. I didn't have my phone. I didn't use my phone. I was just walking, listening to music. It felt so good and at peace to just do that and wind myself into a space where I don't have to keep thinking about work. So that was really nice. And then I went to Ulta and then got some beauty stuff, and then I came home, showered, and got ready. I can't believe I'm 29. It's been 2 days. 2 days of being 29. Yo, can this move? Thank you. I can't believe I am 29 years old. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Just one more year till I'm 30. Wow. Time really flies. I still feel so young and free-spirited and just full of excitement and just youthful, I guess. I don't know. I still feel very young. I am young. Yeah, I am young. But I want to share 29 things that I've learned in the past 29 years. Because I feel like I learned a lot of lessons, and I feel like the person that I am today have grown so much wisdom. I just feel more awake, if that makes sense. So I just want to share, and maybe this might help somebody, who knows. But if you resonate, let me know. Okay, so the first one is no one is watching you that hard because you're too busy. Sorry, let me do it again. No one is watching you that hard because they're all too busy worrying about themselves. This is for imposter syndrome. If you're oh, I'm not good enough, I don't want to I don't think I'm good enough to do this. Let's say posting on Instagram or being on social media, oh, I don't think I'm capable of posting on social media, or what if people notice that I'm embarrassing myself, or I'm doing too much, or etc. Whatever you're thinking is in your head. Everyone is always too busy worrying about themselves because they're just trying to figure out how to live their life as well and figure out what to do next. They're so not worrying about what you're doing. So if you feel like people are watching you, looking at you, I promise you, you're not. Example, if you have a fear of going to the gym or going out to eat by yourself, I promise you no one's looking at you. Live your life, do what you want to do. Don't do it because you don't have someone to do it with you. Do it because you want to, and have fun doing it by yourself. Who cares? It's just one life that you're living. Do what makes you happy. Truly. Peace is more valuable than being right. I feel like going back and forth with somebody is so unnecessary. If they don't get you, I think it's just so much peaceful to just let things go, and it's just not worth it to be right. Like, there's no there's nothing you're gaining from trying to convince this other person to be on the same page as you, because like you're just wasting your breath. For example, this one girl, a random stranger, actually no, I think she's a client, and she replied to my stories, and meanwhile when everyone else is like hearting it, giving me all of these like thank yous and like telling me how much they appreciate the advice or the message, right? And this one person messaged me and claimed that I was being harmful and that I was fake, I wasn't genuine, I'm actually bringing women down for the words I'm saying, and a lot of claims that I didn't believe in. And I knew in my heart that that was not what I meant, and I knew that those were not my intentions. And I told her and explained to her, but she didn't go along with it. She didn't believe it. I couldn't convince her to understand where I'm coming from, and I just let it go. I'm like, I just stopped replying to her, because I knew that no matter what I say, she was already going to, like, no matter what I say, she would continue to think what she's thinking, because she had already chose to think that way. There's no way I could convince her, So I just chose peace. Next one, you can outgrow people but still love them. I think this is something that we all like realize as we're getting older. Like, there are people that come into your life, and then after maybe a few years later you guys fall apart, and that's fine. Some friends are seasonal, and it's okay. we can still love them from afar and root them on for their successes and continue on with our life without feeling like we need to reconcile, or we need to make it work, or else it's the end of the world, or else we just shouldn't be friends at all. Like, if you and your friend drift apart and they're not in your life as consistent as they were before, it's okay to accept that and know that you guys have love for each other, and then carry on. Alone doesn't mean lonely. So just because you're alone without a partner, it doesn't mean that you're lonely. It's okay to be single and just not have anyone present in your life. Like, you're not talking to anyone, you're not messaging anyone, you're not in a talking phase with anyone, you're just alone. But it doesn't mean that you're alone. It doesn't mean that you're lonely. Because if I were to go back in time, or no, let's say, like, if I was single right now, like, I would take advantage of that, of being single, because once you find a partner, you're never going to be single again. And I want you to let that sink in. Like, once you find someone, you're never going to be alone again. So if I was single right now, I would, take advantage of like doing things independently, making decisions independently, doing a lot of hobbies by myself, because it really allows you to grow this sort of like unconditional love for yourself. And then the more you get to know yourself, the more you love yourself. It's really true. Like, when you spend time with yourself, you begin to really enjoy that peace of solitude. And like, since like I'm in a long-term relationship, sometimes I do wonder, like, what would I be like if I was single? Because like, when you're in a relationship, you're kind of like dependent on each other, and you're like always together, you do everything together, which is like, that's when it's important to like have like your own separate thing and do your own things by yourself and not always be together. But like, when you're alone, like, there's beauty in it, and there's a lot of fun in it, like, discovering hobbies for the first time, discovering something new about yourself for the first time, and putting yourself in situations where you're forced to mingle and make friends and meeting new people. Like, there's a lot of beauty in that, but you're not lonely. So don't identify with that. So this next one, if you always wanted to start your social media career, or like if you've ever thought about wanting to like start social media, my tip on that is to post like you're the only person on the internet. Like for me, I get a lot of anxiety when I scroll too much, and if I consume too much. If I look at other people's stuff, I tend to compare myself to them and like compare my content. I'm like, oh, my content's not as good as hers, and hers is so much cooler, you know? So I try not to consume as much as possible, and I just post what is true to my heart and what feels good to me and what resembles me the most. And I just put anything that I want up, and I document my days. I post whatever I want to share. I don't have to share everything, but when I want to share, I share. And I like to be relatable. I like to share about beauty, lifestyle, and just like regular day-to-day stuff that people can relate with, you know? And if you want to start doing that too and posting on social media, but you're scared and you don't know where to start, literally put your mind in a state of mind where you're posting as if like no one's watching. Post like no one's watching. And when you post like that, the most genuine content arises, and then people start to resonate with that, because people love like casual, not staged type of content. And so the more raw and genuine you are, the more people are going to engage with your content, and before you know it, you've already grown a following. So if you get distracted with other people's content and you compare yourself a lot, just post like you're the only person on the internet, and don't look at other people's stuff. And if someone's content stresses you out and constantly makes you want to compare yourself to them, just mute them. Just mute them, and don't look at their stuff. Like, no offense to them, like they're doing great, you know, best wishes to them. But for you, if you feel like you're constantly comparing yourself to those type of people, just step away from their content and just post for yourself, and post what's good for you. Post what feels good to you, and then that'll be a good takeoff. Your energy is your responsibility. What you put out there is what you set the tone for the day, the week, the month, and so forth. So if you wake up and you decide to be grumpy, be negative, be upset about what someone said the other day, or be jealous or be envious, like that is the tone that you're setting for that day. And what you choose every day makes up to what your year looks like. So if you wake up and you decide like, hey, like I am going to have a good fucking day and I'm going to kill it, I'm going to enjoy work, I'm going to have fun at work, I'm going to have a fucking blast at work, and I'm going to connect, I'm going to show my boss who I am and what I'm capable of, and like I am going to have great relationships, like you speak it to an existence, and you set that tone for the day, and you choose the emotion that you want to have for the day. Do not let other people's actions depict your emotion. You choose the thought that you want to have, and that thought creates the emotion. So thoughts are what create your emotions, not what other people do. So if you just, close your eyes for a moment and just meditate on that, and just like choose what kind of energy you want to put out. And that's why I always set the day with like a lot of good affirmations, and I talk to myself a lot. Even if that sounds crazy, I talk to myself. Set the tone. Set the tone for the day and do that every single day. And then a year later, you're going to see how much improvement you've made from just doing that. Because your mindset is everything. But burnout isn't a badge of honor. And I feel like we are always constantly showing off how much we're doing. Oh, like this is like, have you ever like see those posts where we're like kind of telling people what we're doing, and the list is like a huge list of things that we're doing, and in a way that's kind of promoting like burnout culture. And like burnout culture, I'm sure you can agree, like it's so popular, but no one says anything about it, like really, you know, or no one really like, I don't know, like do anything to solve that. I think that we're all just promoting burnout culture. Like we all feel like we have to do a lot in order to do enough, and if we're not doing anything, then we feel like we're not doing enough, and then we feel like a failure, and then we get in our heads, and then we get upset, and then we just, you know, like have all these negative thoughts about ourselves, and like it's not healthy, you know. I feel like when you burn yourself out, you are not able to perform well, and it's not sustainable. You might perform good for like a certain period, but it doesn't sustain for the rest of like the year, you know. So I just feel like we shouldn't like brag about burning out and like talk about it in a way where it's like funny or like joking that like we have a lot of work and so forth. Like I just feel like we should praise rest and praise balance, you know. That is what we want to really promote. Your career doesn't define your worth. Oh my god, I feel like this is like a target on our backs. Like I feel like every single person that I speak to feel this way. Like we define our worth subconsciously based on where we're at in our career. So if our career is not at the end point of the goal that we want to be at, we judge our worth. We judge our worth based on that. So if I let's say I want to build my business to 7 figures as like my dream goal. I'm just blabbering and saying. So because I'm not at 7 figures, I claim my worth as mediocre, or like, oh, you're not there yet, you know, in a way subconsciously. Or like if you want your dream job but you haven't gotten it, and you're just at this current job to kind of sustain your life, we subconsciously wrap ourselves as a level that, you know, like we put ourselves at a certain bracket or level to identify ourselves as, and then like we might not say it out loud, but like our actions or the things that we say and the things that we do reflects what we really think about ourselves. Because if we really think about our worth as high, we would treat ourselves higher, we would talk about ourselves higher, we would represent ourselves higher. And I feel like I don't see that a lot. We just identify and act the part of where our career is. But I think that if we identify our worth as already high and up there, then we become that version of ourselves, the dream versions of ourselves, faster. We become that person faster because you're already behaving and acting and talking like the person in the future where we put ourselves in a higher bracket of like worthiness. If that makes sense. It's kind of hard to put that into words, but that's how I feel and what I think. So, and you know, like we're not trained to think that way, so it's not easy to like wake up daily and think that way constantly, because you're so used to like the other way. So, and it's not like just like, you know, boosting your ego. It's kind of like that, but it's not. It's like boosting your ego in a humble way internally, not outwards. You don't have to project it out. You're you're feeding your confidence internally and thinking your worth as a very like your worth is up there. You are so worthy of everything that you deserve, and you say that internally and you really believe that, and then that is where you attract everything that you're supposed to get, right? Okay, moving on. Actually, we'll talk about this later. I gotta my client's here, so number 9, we'll talk about it soon. Networking is making real connections, not being salesy. So I feel like when I was younger, like in college, I thought that networking was about like selling yourself. Like kind of, yes, but not really. Like networking to me is like being genuine and being real. Like you're creating that bond and that connection with that person in front of you and trying to have some sort of I guess relation, like you gotta relate to one another, be sort of like more human instead of like salesy, like a robot, like, oh, I do this, I'm a team player, I love working with people, I know Microsoft, I know PowerPoint, I know the sales pitch, the elevator pitch, right? Like I do this, I study this, I can type this amount of words in this amount of time, like like just selling yourself in that way where you're not even being relatable, having resonance and empathy. Like that is what creates a good connection, and that'll include that person into your network. That's the best way to build your network instead of just being salesy. Rest is productive too. This one is a hard one for me because every single time it's a rest day to myself, I feel so guilty for not doing anything. Like I almost feel like every day I have to do something. But like when you recharge and you refresh yourself and you take time to relax and just breathe and just enjoy life and spend time with family and friends and your pets and just do the things that you love again, like reading a book, standing in the sun, going for a walk, biking, running, like all of that you time is so important because when you go back to work, you're just so much refreshed, you're not foggy, you're not so burnt out, you're recharging so that when you come back, you're twice the energy that you have the before, and you work better, you have a clear mind, you're more motivated, you're excited, you're happier, you're glowing. So then now you can work better instead of just like gloomy and just tired and just like pushing through and just burning yourself out. So rest is productive. Some friends are seasonal, and that's normal. Friends come and go, people come and go. Sometimes like you were very close to a friend one summer, and then the next summer all of a sudden you guys drift. It's totally normal. We can't take everything personal, and we just have to like I guess accept things for what it is and not expect so much, and that'll save us so much time from like overthinking. So whatever it is, just don't fantasize and don't like glamorize people, like over glamorize people, especially like your partner. If it's not working, it's not working. Don't push it. Don't like fall in love with the idea of friends and partners, soulmates, right? If that person isn't giving, ta-da, it's okay, we move on, and you can love them from afar and just accept it for what it is. Water, sleep, movement is medicine. If you ever feel like shit and you feel groggy, you feel sick, you have a lot of health issues, I'm not sure, like people might disagree, but this is what I believe in. Like let's say if you have PCOS, like that, I just think the best medicine is what you eat, you hydrating yourself,
Exercise, movement. Doesn't even have to be intense movement, just literally like enough movement, 10,000 steps a day, doing a little bit of yoga, stretching is very big. Yeah, like just like making sure what you feed your body, like just holistic remedies is going to help heal health issues that you have and like give you more energy. Like you don't need all the energy drinks and all these random pills and all that stuff. Like fruits, water, sun, exercise, stretching, whole foods, like all of that is medicine, and majority of that is going to heal whatever you have. Even for PCOS, like this is just Chinese culture, Chinese medicine. Like I even had a friend told me that her grandfather was healed from Chinese medicine with having cancer. His cancer was healed from Chinese medicine. If cancer can be healed, then PCOS can be healed. It's definitely doable. It's possible. You don't have to take all those medicine that the pharmaceutical companies are telling you to do. Okay, the next one is gut feeling is your best friend, because that's the universe, or if you're religious, that's God. Whatever your intuition is telling you, whatever your gut is telling you, go with that first instinct. I like almost never overthink. Whatever the first decision comes to my mind first, that is the first thing that I do. I don't think, I just do. Have you ever like pick an outfit and you always go back to the first outfit that you picked and you tried on like 20 different outfits and literally go back to the first one you chose? Because that's your first instinct, your first gut. Like listen to your first thought self. Don't overthink, don't second guess yourself, don't doubt yourself. Your intuition is your best friend, because that little voice inside your head is real. It comes from influence, it comes from wisdom, it comes from a mature, grown adult. Don't doubt yourself and don't be like, oh, well, like, I don't know what's good for me. No. That's you just joking, and that's you just saying things that you don't mean. You know what's best for yourself, because our brain is made to protect ourselves. That's why we have survival instincts. We're just made this way, so you know what is best for yourself. So don't say things that you don't mean. Choose the decision that you know is best for yourself based on your gut feeling. Next one. Stretching is good for you. Going back to stretching, like stretching is like something that you'll think yourself when you're like 50, 60 years old, because you don't want to be on a cane. You don't want to have a back that's like crunched up like this, because like we're always hovered over our computers and scrolling our phones like this. Posture is just so bad, right, over the years, since technology has influenced us. So we have to stretch, and that way it'll kind of balance that posture and that form that we have, so that way like when we get older we will age gracefully. And notice how like every single like older woman who does like yoga, like the yogi girls, right, that are like older, or even the guys, like anyone who's like like 60 and above and does yoga, you look at them, they just look like they could just fly. They just like walk like they just like have like light feet. They don't walk heavy. Their arms and legs and body look so lean. Their face is glowing. Their hair is luscious. Like I don't know, they just look so good, like every single one of them. So they're doing something right, and they're stretching, so we gotta do what they're doing. Stretch. Warm food and drinking hot water for digestion. Like I cannot express how important this is. Like literally every single person in China, Japan, Korea, like Asia in general knows this. Like eating warm food and drinking warmer drinks is so much better than chugging a cold glass of water. Like I know that's what we love. We love ice in everything. We love ice in our juice. We love ice in our soda. We love ice in our water, but it's so not good for you. Like once in a while is okay, but like we want our daily habits to be drinking warm liquids and warm food, like soup, right? Because it's just so much better for digestion and metabolism and like your body and like your skin and everything. Like especially for women, like we bloat a lot, so like when we have warm water, it helps with digesting and de-bloating. And cold water is so bad for a woman. Like if you look this up, this is so heavy in Chinese culture specifically. I'm sure it's like the same in like Japanese and Korea and everything else, but I'm Chinese, so I'm gonna speak for my culture. Like every single woman and auntie that I know, they carry around like a jug of a water bottle. And in China, they would just like if they go to like restaurants, airports, train stations, they all have stations where you can get warm water or hot water so that you can pour it into your water bottle, and they just walk around everywhere with it, and then they just fill it up and drink that. And they drink that very often. Like they believe in like good amount of intake of water because it's really good for digestion and health, and just like overall, it's just overall health is really good for you. Okay, especially like older, my grandma, like older women, older people, even my dad, like everyone, like it's good for both genders, men and women. It's good for your skin, good for dehydration, everything. Like it's just connected to everything. Like if you include it into your routine, your lifestyle for just 1 month, every single day, I promise you, you're gonna feel a difference. Try it and then let me know. Okay, next one. Your 20s is for learning and making mistakes. Don't wait until your career is perfect to settle down. Your 20s are not for having the perfect career. So I remember being like 25, like, you know, just like thinking that like I'll have it all together like by 27, basically. Like everything will be perfect and I'll have the career of my dreams and I'll be making so much money and all of that. Like some people, yeah, like, you know, some people do make it and like they become a millionaire by like 21 or 23. That's possible, very possible. Realistically, you know what I'm saying? Like not everyone is going to be a millionaire in their 20s, right? But if you're working your way towards your career to unfold, to become successful, right? Your version of successful. It doesn't mean that if you're not making $1 million, you're not successful. So if you want a successful career, right, it takes time. And that's why your 20s is there for you to learn as much skills and knowledge as much as possible, so that later on, when you're ready to make that much money, you'll have all the knowledge and all the skills there to maintain and to start and embark your career, whether that's a 9 to 5 or starting a new business, right? Whatever it may be. Your 20s is for you to make mistakes, try everything that you've always wanted to try and see what works for you. And then once you tried everything, then in your 30s, you're able to say, well, I've tried X, Y, and Z, and I know this one is for me. Then you know, start that or continue that, and then it starts to blossom and grow it to be everything that you dreamed it to be, with the lessons and knowledge that you've attained in your 20s. So I am grateful that like I, you know, did my trial and tribulations in my 20s, quit my job, start my own business, all that in my 20s, versus like, you know, pushing it later on. If there's anything that you want to do that you've always dreamed of, please do me a favor and try to go for it now while you're young in your 20s. Go for it. Take the risk. You can do it. You'll figure it out. I promise you, you will figure it out. You just have to start, and then everything will fall. Everything will fall into place. Invest your money the right way. Doesn't matter how much you make, just invest rather than save. So, like, investing is going to help you make more money. Saving is not. Saving isn't going to give you assets, isn't going to give you a portfolio of like residual income and etc. Basically, like, if you can invest your money over save, that's better. But save enough for emergency fund. Once you have enough emergency fund, that should be good, and the rest of the money should be invested into like a Roth IRA or stocks, and so forth, real estate, anything. Like, invest your money, capitalize off of it, so that later on when you're older you don't have to depend on the money that you save, because then the money that you've invested is accumulating to much more than what you saved. So be smart about what you're doing with your money. If you're dating someone and you feel like your partner isn't on the same page with you, don't waste your time, because you want your partner to be on the same team as you, to have a healthy marriage in the future. Think about your future. Think about, like, if this person is somebody that you can rely on for, you know, the rest of your life. Like, can you see yourself having a future with him? If you and your partner is always on different page, different paths, you guys have different belief systems, different values, different ways of like raising a kid, different family values, like, just be realistic and just don't waste your time. Like, know your standards, know what you're worth, know what you want, and don't take less than that, because once you're 50 and 60, like, you're not going to tolerate. And if you're not willing to tolerate, you're going to want a divorce. And why, you know, waste your time in a marriage of like 30 years to find out that you want a divorce? You know, like, know it now and pick your partner wisely. Your time is valuable. People who waste your time is not worth your time. So only put energy into people that reciprocate. If that person is not giving you the same energy back, and they're not showing you that they value you and value friendships, you know, like, it's just not worth it for you to put in all that effort for them to like not care, you know? Like, just don't waste your time on people that don't give you the time of day and like show you the same respect. Like, let's say you're just expecting them to just show up and they can't even show up. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Let this be the sign. Let this be the sign, okay? Just trust your gut. If your gut is telling you this is not the right friend, then that person truly isn't the right friend for you. I promise. Okay. Always be kind. Kindness will always open the right doors and lead you to stronger relationships with people, because kindness always wins. I feel like I don't have to explain that. Like, that's a given. So we're going to go to the next one. Do not doubt yourself. Trust yourself that you are going to take care of yourself. Listen to that voice inside you and let that voice lead you. Like, going back to what I was saying earlier, like, don't ever doubt yourself. Like, you need to speak with conviction and decide for yourself as if like you're deciding for your kid. Like, you need to look at yourself as somebody that's very, very important in your life. Like, this is somebody that you care deeply. You know the saying where people are like, oh, like, when it's me, I don't really care. But when you mess with somebody that I love, now you get this other side of me. You should treat yourself the same way. Do not ever disrespect me, because I will beat your ass. Basically like that, but not really. But, you know, same type of like way. Like, don't let anybody disrespect you. Don't let anybody take advantage of you. Don't let anybody diminish your worth, you know? Like, stand up for yourself, speak with conviction, don't ever doubt yourself, know what you're worth, show up as who you are, give people, like show people who you truly are, and be like, what you see is what you get. If you don't like what you get, okay, move it along. If you like what you like, then we're here to have fun. Know what you want. Okay. Knowing what you want is so important, because I kind of like said this in like the other, kind of tagged it along with the other lessons, but like, knowing what you want is so important. For example, let's say like, I know exactly what kind of man I want to marry. When you know exactly what kind of man you want to marry, you start attracting that person, because you're looking for those specific characteristics or measures in that person, so that way you're kind of like tossing out the ones that don't really qualify, right? Because then your standards are high, versus like just kind of trying things out, going on like 20 different dates, and just like feeling everyone out, and then like draining your energy, you know? Like once you see and you know what you want, you're like, oh, okay, like it's just so much easier, is what I'm trying to say. I'll give you a really good example. I love analogies. It's my birthday and I have a vision in my head and I want to wear a certain outfit. I know what I want. So when I go and shop, I look for exactly what I want. I don't like go through the entire website, every single category, every single dress, every single top, and go through hours of looking for my birthday outfit. Go on Pinterest, I, put out like a mood board of like a vision that I want to wear, and then like I'm like, okay, I have an idea what I want to wear. So then I go on like all these websites and I look for the exact like or similar style that I'm looking for, or vibe that I'm looking for, because I know exactly what I want to wear for my birthday. I know the exact vibe, right? So like for example, my birthday, it's a good example because my birthday theme is a picnic garden party. So garden, flowers, I want a floral. I base my dress on that theme. So I had like a dress that was like very floral and very colorful, and it's like yellow and bright. Goes really well with the garden theme. Because I know exactly what I want, looking for the dress became easier. So when you look for your partner or your person, right, or friend, right, who do you envision to be your friend? Who do you picture your friend to be, and who do you picture your soulmate to be? Have it so vividly like real to a point where you can almost imagine this person in front of you, and then all of a sudden this person shows up because you've got it down so well that you know exactly who your person is, so that when you meet this person, you automatically know this is my person. And I think this is why, like, for guys, like men, because men are just like so black and white, they know exactly what they want, if they like it or not. You ask a man, you like it? Yes, no. For a girl, it's like, oh, I like this, but if it was like that, then it'll be better. Like, it's so much like, like words into it. But for a man, it's either they like it or they don't. When they meet a woman, it's either they like it or they don't, right? So because they know what they want, once they meet the one, they're like, oh, I'm gonna marry her. I hear so many like podcasts like where they say like this like the man version. They'll say like, oh, like I literally like I knew I was gonna marry her the moment I met her. I hear a lot of guys say that. The ones that obviously found the person already, they say like, oh, I knew from the get that I was gonna marry her, and then they end up being married. Like I hear that a lot. Okay, moving on. If you don't like where you're at, get your ass up and start writing. Write about the things that you dream of having and what would make you genuinely happy. This is something that I did from the start of my career. Whenever I feel like I wasn't clear on my path of my career, or just being unsure, like if you're just feeling confused without direction, and you feel like where you're trying to go or where you're headed seems so far and unattainable, and you just feel defeated, any sort of way like that, grab a notebook, grab a pen, write everything down. Write all your thoughts. Declutter your thoughts. Write everything down. Even if it doesn't make any sense, as long as it makes sense to you. And then once you declutter everything, write down like a dream story, and be so specific, almost like you're writing your own autobiography or your own book, like a story of yourself. And write the version that you dream to be, and write everything that you've always wanted, and be genuine. Don't say, I want a Ferrari, I want a Porsche, I want this, I want that. Like, is it truly going to make you happy? If it is truly going to make you happy, then write it down. Don't be funny, be real. Be real with yourself and write it down, because it is going to be so helpful when you write this down and you start reading it daily, because now all of a sudden the stories that you're writing starts becoming true. Okay? Just have that bigger picture in your head and write it down. Being digitally skilled is helpful. Like learning how to build your own website and conduct it in a way to flow intuitively is a good skill to have. Knowing how to set up your business online functionally, or just like knowing any sort of like digital skill, like spreadsheets and like Microsoft, like all of that is such a good skill to have, because no matter where you go, whether you're going to science, law, business, creative stuff, like you always need to be technical. You have to be techie. You have to know how to work the digital world. Knowing how to work the digital world is so important. Like, if you don't know how to build your own website, if you don't know how to work certain softwares that is going to benefit you in your career, it's going to set you back. I learned so much about building a website and knowing how to like look for things that I need to build a good website, you know? And that became a good skill to have, because now I don't have to hire someone to make my own website. I just make it myself. Showing off is a ugly habit. Being humble is one of the best characteristics to have. Like, just being proud of yourself in such a humble way where you're not showing off and you're just proud to be yourself. You just show up as who you are. I feel like being humble will get you so much further. People love to be around humble people, and your network will grow even bigger by just being humbly you. People see you, they know what you do. You don't have to tell them what you do. They will ask you and they will see what you're doing. So don't feel like you have to share what you do in order to feel validated. Like, you can make all the accomplishments and success that you do even when no one's watching. Success is measured by your mindset. You get what you want with the current state of mind that you're in. So like, attracting success, like any version of success, your version of success, it comes to you when you have the right mindset. If you're not in the right mindset, you're not going to reach the fullest potential of what success means to you. Let's say what success to you is having a family. If your mindset is not there positively, like you don't have the right mindset, you may not get the family that you want. Because like, let's say, you know, you're like, oh, I'm never gonna find my person because men suck, but I want a family. Like, your dream family isn't gonna come to you if you keep thinking men suck, because then they won't come. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just not going to attract that. You're not going to attract a man of your dream if you keep saying men suck. Okay? That's an example. Another one is like, if you keep saying like, this is so hard. Like, running a business is just so hard. Like, people just don't get it. Your business is not going to take it to the next level that you dream it to be, because you keep perceiving everything as hard. Versus like, if you think of it in a way where it's like, well, this is hard, but I can handle hard things. I can do hard things. Like, this is what's meant for me. I'm going to conquer this, and I'm going to do this no matter what the level of difficulty it is. And for me, I don't say, oh yeah, it's hard. I just say, yeah, it requires a lot of effort, but I enjoy the effort, because at the end, my effort is going to show and shine in the most beautiful way. You know, like, it's the mindset that you have. The way you perceive things also results what happens in return at the end. Like, the results is going to show based on like how you react to your current situation. Be smart about your credit. Don't spend on bad debt. Only buy what you can afford. Do not make... Okay, so there's a difference between bad debt and good debt. If you're just swiping your credit card, let's say you're buying a Louis, or you're buying yourself like, you know, like $1,000 pair of shoes, like, that's just putting yourself into bad debt. Buying things that you can't afford. Only buy it if you can afford it. Your credit card is only for you to swipe things that you can afford. Good debt is like getting a loan to build a new house, or a loan to start your business. You know, like, these are good debt, so that you can invest into something that's greater. Always look into good debt over bad debt. Like, I would rather put my money into good debt than bad debt. Like, all that materialistic things, all of that isn't gonna make you any worth of dime. Like, it's just materialistic stuff is just for you to buy to reward yourself so that you can, you know, like, it's something that you've always wanted to make yourself feel better, and you reward yourself with something that's nice, right? But don't buy it if you can't afford it. But if you can put yourself into good debt, the good debt is going to give you whatever you want later on down the line. Last one. This is the last one, number 29. Become what you attract. Anything that you want to have or you want to be with, you need to be it first in order to attract it. Let's say like you want the man of your dreams, or yeah, since I'm a woman, so I'm gonna say, let's say if you want to attract the man of your dreams, like you need to be the woman that he wants you to be. Because just like how you're looking for him, he's also looking for you. So if you're looking for your man, you cannot be hypocritical. Like, you have to be the part that you expect your man to be, so that you guys can both attract each other and find each other. Or else, if he's doing the part and you're not doing the part, how are you going to attract him, right? Or let's say you want to have a successful business and a beautiful house, right? Whatever the success means to you. Like, your future self, what will your future self do right now? That is a version that you have to be. If you want to be the ideal person of your future self, you need to be her now. Myself, okay, future me. If future me has all of these things, just like the story that I told you to write, right? All the stories about all the things that you want to have. Like, she is like, I don't know, 35 years old. She has a house. She has a successful business. She drives this car. She makes this much amount of money. She wears this. She goes to this place and that place. Like, you write it down so specifically, right? So then you look at that version of yourself that has everything that you dream of having. What would that version of myself do today? And every single day you do things that she would do, and then all of a sudden one day you wake up, now you've become that future person that you wrote down in that book of yours. That person that you described and that you imagined in the book that you wrote, all of a sudden you became her, because every single day you showed up doing the exact same things that she would do. Become the person that you want to attract, or become what you want to attract. And that's 29 lessons for me. One more year to 30. I am so grateful for all the lessons that I've learned. I feel wiser, smarter than who I was back when I was 25 and so forth. I know that there's so much more that I have to learn, and I know that when I reach 30, like, I'm going to learn more, and in my 30s I will learn much, much more. I still feel like there is so much in life that I still need to experience in order to attain more knowledge on. So I'm so excited to learn more, because all of the things that I just mentioned are such good wisdom. So I just cannot wait for how much more there is for me to like attain, you know? Like, I'm so excited for this bigger like journey in my 30s for me. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for all the lessons that I've learned, and I am so excited for this year. I can't wait to see what I accomplish. I can't wait to see what I come up with. And I hope that all of these lessons mean something to you, and that you take it and apply it for yourself. And I hope that these words help you resonate with me in any way. But yeah, let's connect on here. If you like this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. See you guys later.